I just made the decision to leave. We didn't have any equipment at the end of the day, and it reflects on your work. No tractor, no spikers, no mower, and as time went on it just got worse and worse and worse. And I used to work for a Saturday, walking on there and getting the response off the people, the spectators when they arrived. You know, if you can stand there and look at your pitch that you've done, you feel a bit proud, you know what I mean, and especially if you get a good performance as well. As you know, Accrington Stanley, they don't get a big gate, they don't get a big crowd, so they've not got a lot of money to spend. And it was just absolute bare bones for the pitch. Fertilisers, weed killers, it was like big bore of steel, you know, whitening and things like that. Well, which you can't blame, because it's a club that, you know, they don't get good gates, so they've not got the money to spend on things. And you can only sort of paint over the cracks so long, then it starts to show.
Before he goes, Gary has been asked to cover the penultimate game of the season. Accrington Stanley have made it to the semi-finals of the historic Lancashire Senior Cup. For over 100 years, every North West club across every division has vied for this silverware. Stanley are in the semi-finals, and their opponents, Liverpool, a clash of two of the biggest names in football from the top and tail of the professional leagues. Lancashire Cup rules state that at least 6 players from the club's first team must be selected to play in the tournament. Hopes are high for a turnout by a big name or two from the Premiership club.
Gerrard and Torres didn't play at the weekend though, so there was a rumour that they were being rested for tonight, but I think that they've got another game on Wednesday, something to do with the Champions League or something.
But Stanley's magnificent cup run comes to naught. Watching the 3-0 defeat was too painful for some.
I left at half-time. I couldn't put up with that rubbish for much longer, so I cleared off at half-time. You know, I think the performance was absolutely abysmal, and you know, I wasn't prepared to stop and watch that rubbish. When you see the players just as if they're not interested, they're not bothered, and you know, I think it was time for me to clear off. We'd already beat Preston, we'd already beat Blackpool, both away from home, and you know, when it was a mixed side with the squad members that don't get a game, they did really, really well against those clubs. So it makes me wonder why the so-called superstars, as one or two of them think they are, that they turned up and never put a performance in. So they got what they deserved. Nothing.
Nothing will come of nothing. Eric, like King Lear, must keep his kingdom in order.
New groundsman here. Hiya there.
New groundsman Martin Buttercook arrives greeted by good news.
Should have a new tractor for you next week.
Don't mention it. No, well, not a new one.
Reconditioned.
I got a phone call off my sister-in-law who works here, Vicky, and I come in and Eric offered me a job. So, you know, I thought I'd best have a go at it. I've known Eric for years and years, so, you know, I don't think there'll be a problem there. Probably known him 25 years nearly. So if you know how to suss him out sort of thing, he should be all right, yeah.
Even with one game left in the season, Buzzer still has to dive in with his boots on. Our new groundsman soon finds himself knee-high in action on the pitch.
It's a bit waterlogged at the moment, to be honest. We've had a bit of a problem with British weather again. But fingers crossed, the next couple of days have got to be all right. Fine, hopefully this afternoon and tomorrow. Saturday's got to be a roaster, so we should be OK for Saturday.
Also up to his neck in it, assistant manager Jimmy Bell. His day in court has arrived. A fourth official's claim of abusive language resulted in Jimmy being banished to the stands during the home game against MK Dons.
Sit down and I'll put you in the stand. Jim, I'm telling you, sit down.
It's an accusation he vigorously denies.
The commission went through all the evidence. They had a very good hearing. They just decided at the end of the day it was the fourth official's word against mine. I put my case across. They heard all sides to the argument. Graham Bean was fantastic for me, argued my case. And we retired and went back in, and they upheld it. Said that, you know, they thought, no, they took the fourth official side, put it that way.
Jimmy is fined £300.
You've got to sit on it to start it.
There's another committee of sorts getting buzzing. The pitch needs sorting for the final game of the season against Bury. Chairman Eric takes a moment to consider an unknown future as the reality of being dropped by his shirt sponsor hits home. But there's more trouble at Mill just around corner.